Hi everyone and welcome to my sewing room. Today we are going to continue with our Winnie the Pooh poem in PE design, so don't go away. So as I just said, I'm going to go to the PE design software and I'm going to continue to write the Winnie the Pooh poem out and show you just a couple other features that you can do in your software. I also wanted to show you something. Those of you who watch my videos all the time because you have a Stellaire, an Altair, or a Meridian, and you use the app with Brother, it's called Brother Snap. And I can't remember, it's IQ Design or something for Baby Lock. Anyway, I just wanted to let you know. So I made this cute little, it's kind of like a changing pad. This is a new OESD design that just came out that's supposed to be a growth chart, but I made it into this little changing pad for my new great grandbaby that's coming. By the way, it is a boy. I don't remember if I mentioned that in the last one. So anyway, see the middle of this that has the checkerboard all over it? That's scrap fabric that I had left over from a Halloween quilt I made last year. And this checkerboard really interfered with the Snap app. And I think the reason why it did that was because, you know, your hoops have um, the little squares that the app finds, and that's what makes it be able to scan and take a picture. Well, I think those little squares just interfered with it, and I'll be honest with you, I tried it with like 3 different devices that I had here and at the store, and it did the same thing in every single one of them. So that was very strange, but I just wanted to give you a little heads up. And if you've had the same problem with a checkerboard on a fabric when you wanted to scan it, let me know. Put it in the comments because I'd like to know a little bit more about how that works. I did end up I cheated a little bit. I went to the store and I did it on the Luminaire, and I was able to put stippling all the right around all of these little appliques and not do anything over the top of them. So I thought it came out really cute. But anyway, so let's get back to the subject in hand. We're going to go into PE design software and we're going to do a little bit with the next set of the poem. And I'll show you some of the things I've done that's just a little bit different. Okay, we're in PE Design 11 again, and I have my workspace and layouting set up in a 6. Let me see. Design settings is right here. This is where you set your hoop up. So I have this set for 6 1/4 by 10 1/4, which is not my largest hoop on my machine, but it's a good size hoop for what I want to do today. So, and that's what I used the last time. So I've got it set up. The other thing that I've got set up on here is if you come up here to the corner right here where it says view and you hit view, you can say show grid with access. If you turn that off, you get dots. I don't know, the dots are all that helpful. It also lets you change it for how big of an interval. Right now I have it set for 2.250, but I have highlighted this before and just put 1.0 and then and pushed enter, and then I get 1 inches. That helps a little bit sometimes, especially when you're putting letters in to get it lined up the way you want it. So I'm going to come back in here and write in 0.25. That puts 1/4 inches in there, and that I find that helpful for lettering and stuff like that. So I've got that. And I've said this before, don't hit snap to grid unless you want it to always move to the size of your 1/4 inch or right to the line. I don't really like it to do that for the most part, so I turned that off. Okay, so let's get this poem written in here. The second poem, the second stanza of the poem is on Tuesday when it hails and snows. So I'm going to do it like I did before. I'm going to go home, click on text, the first letter, and then I'm going to write the word on and enter. And then I'm going to come up here and use text again, click here, and write Tuesday. And I'm the worst speller in the whole world, but I think I did that right. Then I'm going to come over here and do it again. When it and letters over here. Hails. Enter. I keep hitting that shapes thing. And enter. And then we're going to say snows. S-N-O-W-S. Snows. Enter. Okay, so now we have some words to play with here. And these are all cursive and they're green, and that's the color that I did the last one in, if you remember right. So let's move this down. Remember, click on it, let your mouse rest and get the white cross, and that's going to allow you to pick it up. Left click. So if I click on the snows, I left click and then the box appears and I can drag. And that's sometimes the hardest thing to do. Click on it. See, if I go here, it's going to change so that I can pull on it. If I come up here, the arrow gets 2 points on it and I can stretch it like this if I want to. Here's the word hails. We can put that right there. I can stretch it out like this. Put it over here. Now let's see. If I choose the word hails and I come up to the text menu and I click on it, then I can drop down and I can find another fill that I like, another font, I'm sorry. So let's do now we're in true type fonts. I don't know if I want to get into true type fonts. Let me see if I can find something in the brother fonts. Here's the snows. Now I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on the O and then I'm going to drop down here and I'm going to go into, let's go past the brother fonts. Let's go all the way down to the wingdings down here. And let's see if we can find something. Now, if I remember right, okay, I was thinking that I could go in and use a wingding there, and be absolutely honest with you, I cannot remember how to go ahead and look at what the wingdings are. So I'm going to do something different completely than do that. So if you have been watching, you'll notice I deleted the word snows. So I'm going to do this again. I'm going to go up here and I'm going to write S, but over here, I've got my sewing order over here for some reason. I don't know why. Just put it over here. Oh dear. Okay, let's do this again. Home. Click here. we're going to write the word snows. S, but I'm going to put a couple of empty, no, put N, and then I'm going to hit the enter button twice for a blank, and then I'm going to put S and S. That was dumb. Snows. Okay, I'll push enter. Now, you'll notice that this has got wingdings in it. And you can use those to make embroidery if you know which one you're choosing from, but obviously I don't. So I want to come back up here, and I'm going to change this to another font. There, that's more like what I wanted. So you see me goof up. But now I have the word snows without an O in it. So then what I can do is I'm going to go over here to let's see, I got to think about this. Import patterns from design library. So here's my design library. And then let's go down here and let's see what's under miscellaneous. Okay. How about if we do outline shapes? What do we have in outline shapes? We have a snowflake. Import. Let's put the snowflake right here. Ha, 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 ha. That's what I wanted right there for the, oh, that's what my goal was. Okay, I said before that I would show you how to change a large letter that you've got into a fill. So all you really have to do is select it, and then you're going to come up here to where it says text. You're going to hit that, and then you're going to change this from a satin stitch to a fill stitch. That's going to make that flat so that it doesn't make a great big huge satin stitch. You're not going to be making the stitch. Let me go home and hit the plus sign, and I'm going to zoom in just as close as I can possibly get to this. So when this is a satin stitch, the stitch is going to go from here. Whoops, Rosemary, don't left click. Okay. From here to here, to here, to here, to here, to here. That's going to make a really big stitch that's not going to hold up well, even on a batting with quilting and everything. So that is the reason why we select it and we change it to, whoops, a fill stitch. Now it's going to change to a fill stitch. There. Now it's going to be flat, and it's going to sew out nice for a big letter, just as a small letter sews out better as a satin stitch. Now, if I wanted this to be outlined, I would come up here, click this down arrow, and say I want to do a zigzag stitch around the outside. Now it's outlined. I could also outline it with a running stitch, so it just has a little outline around it. I can also tell it to do a zigzag stitch. Let's make the zigzag stitch blue. Let's make the other part of it also blue. Let's come over here, this part over here, see where it says sewing attributes? We're going to click sewing attributes, and we're going to choose the zigzag width, and let's bring it down to 5 instead of 8. Now I still have a satin stitch outline around it, but it's not quite so wide, and it's more like what I'm looking for. So now I'm going to go home, and I'm going to click this and zoom all. Now let's bring the when, it, and the Tuesday. Let's make the Tuesday text. Let's make Tuesday, oh, let's see, Let's just do something fun like this. I'm trying to get there. Okay. And then let's make it, remember, hit text, text, change the color, make it also blue. So we have a nice word Tuesday. I'll move it over here. And I also have to select Hales. Now also remember that when you click on this, you see colors here, but if you come down here, it says show color palette. If you click on that, it'll open up over here. And then you can click this and you can choose whatever brand you want. And in PE Design 11, they have Floriani as well as Isacord and a whole lot of really good brands in here. But I'll be honest with you, I choose Brother, just plain old Brother Embroidery, because I don't want to scroll through all those colors. If you don't want to do that, then they only have 61 colors. So it's basically makes it a whole lot easier. So on Tuesday, when it hails and snows, what's the next part of this? It is, I have to get back into here where I was before. Okay, so on Tuesday, when it hails and snows, the feeling on me grows and grows. The feeling on me. So let's go up here. And we're going to write the, enter. See the way it's the same way when we did this one, it hasn't changed. So I actually have to switch it back. So if I switch it back, number one, I have to say do not sew here. And then I also have to come here. And it shows me the last ones that I used. So I can just switch it to this one. And then let's do text and click here. And I'm going to write all in small letters, feeling on me, enter. And then I think I'm going to write in all capital letters, grows and grows. Let's make that one big. Stretch it. Oh, I kind of like that. So let's put the, and then let's do feeling, whoops, move it down here. Let's do feeling like this one here, just for fun. And let's make it red. And I need to make the word the green like this one here. So again, it shows you right down here the colors you've used, so it's easy to find the right color. And I'm going to hit the word when it, and then hit the text menu. And that one is actually 104. So if I choose the word the, then I know that I have to go down here. To 104 to get that to be the same one. And this one here, same thing. Let's just grab this and go down. Actually, 104 should be right here. Okay. Remember the last week when we did, I decided my letters were too small, so I want to make them a little bigger. And I want to make this the same green. And then this one, I want to make I think another shade of blue. And I just realized that the word on me is still a fill stitch. So let's move that back to a satin stitch. And let's move this one back to a satin stitch. Once you change it, sometimes it stays. Let's change feeling. There, that's better. Okay. I am going to move this down and move the word the. And I'm going to move this here. Feeling's a little harder to get a hold of because it's so skinny. There. Let's move that down there. Let's move this down here. Oops. Snowflake. Hails. And, okay. Now, what I'm thinking about doing is I'm going to go to Import Patterns from File. And I'm going to go into my design packs that I have here. Let's see. Documents. Embroidery designs. And I think it's under Classic. I think I put it under Classic Pooh. So let's see. Which one do we want to do? Let's see this one. Import. Here's Pooh Bear. Now, remember how we did this? We took it and we came up here to Stitches, Stitches, and we said divide by color. And I clicked off of it. Now I'm going to click on this one and hit delete on my keyboard. I'm going to choose this one and delete that. And I can do it over here too. Sometimes it's easier. Just take this one. Let's come all the way down to this one. Hold down the Shift key and then hit delete. Sometimes that doesn't work. Okay, let's try it again. Select objects, delete. I'm going to try this again. Select this one, hold down the Shift key, select 3, right click, select objects,
delete. Ha! That worked. Now I just have Pooh Bear, and then I want to select them, all of them, like, oh, okay, I want to select all the Winnie the Pooh. So I'm going to select this one, hold down the Shift key, select this one, and then right click, select objects, and then I'm going to right click over here and group. So the reason I needed to do that was because I can't draw a line, a box around him like this, because it wants to select everything around him, and I can't. It's hard to select the parts I want and hit Control. I select this and then hold Control down to select the next part. But if I come over here and select them both and then group them, now he's one piece, so I can put him wherever I want him, and I want him right here. So I hope that makes sense. So I'm going to do this, move this down, move this here, move this. That looks really cute. I like it a lot. So I can select the whole thing by holding my mouse up here, dragging around, and then I can put this down and lift it up to the top. So now it moved. And then the rest of the poem is that hardly anybody knows if those are these and these are those. So I think I'm going to have to maybe make this a little smaller, and then I have to be able to put in some more, the rest of the poem. So I'm going to go ahead and type that in, and I'll come back in just a minute. I'm back. I wanted to show you a couple of things that I did. I wrote the rest of the poem in here. There's one thing that I did do. I moved all of these around a little bit. I brought On Tuesday Win It up so it's straight across. And then I put hails and snows, and I actually made the word hails and snows a little bit smaller so that it fits in there better, because I want to keep it in the same hoop. I have the feeling on me. Here's Grows and Grows Pooh Bear right here. Obviously that's not going to work, but if I hit the Grows and Grows, it appears back over here, and I can click right here next to the Grows and just hit the space key, and it'll give me a little space right there. Let's put 2 spaces in there. Push enter, and then let's click on it and pick it up and move it. It's not quite in the hoop, but if I put my mouse here on the corner and just squish it a little bit closer, it's squished in. I can move it over just a little bit. Now, I want to show you something. I'm going to hit the plus sign. I'm going to zoom in as close as I can get to these weird little flowers right here. I'm going to click on this and change it to this. And then I'm going to click on the flower like this. See how I get these little boxes? I'm going to click on the box. I'm going to hit delete on my keyboard. And I'm going to just sit here and keep hitting delete, 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 delete. That might take too long. I can drag a square around them, turn them all black, push delete. Let's see how many of these I can get rid of. I've got some behind this S. I'll push delete. As long as these are the ones that are chosen, it'll delete not the S, but the ones that I'm working on. There. And then I don't know about these right here. I think that's good. The rest of it's part of Pooh Bear, so I'm going to leave it the way it is. Now let's come back out again. Switch this back to the selector button. There he is, like that, without those little flowers in my way. I got a little bit of space here from the feeling on me grows and grows that hardly anybody knows if those are these or... Now, I could type this again, and you know how much work that is to type it and say enter, type it, say enter. But why can't I just choose the word these? Control D on your keyboard. Control D is a duplicate. Put the these down here. Choose the word R. Control D on the keyboard. Put them down. Put this down here. Whoops. Come on. It's trying to... Let's move it over here. There we go. Okay, so now that I've got some space here, that looks pretty good. Let's see something. Let's do import patterns from file. Let's see. You know who my favorite character is? I really like Eeyore a lot. I'm going to import Eeyore here. Oh, he's bigger than I thought he was. Let's delete that one. I don't even want to try and resize that. Let's see what else is in here. Here's Piglet. Let's drop Piglet right here. Okay, so we're going to come back up here. We're going to divide by color. We're going to scroll down here to the bottom. And we're going to choose this one, shift, that one. Remember, you have to right click and select objects and then hit delete. Come down here. Let's see. This one, all the way down to this one, I think. Shift, right click, select objects, delete. Voila, here's my Piglet. Well, I have to select them all together and right click and group them back. Let's see. If we put them down here, so let's put or these. I have to think these through sometimes. Or let's change the word the nose to text. Let's see. What color do I not have in this little wall hanging yet? Show color palette. Let's come over here and let's try, well, let's do purple. I know purple's already in there, but this is, okay. So the only thing I really have to do now is I'm going to select Piglet. I'm going to hold my mouse key and hit the control button so that I get this other little emblem here that allows me to size. I usually don't like to size a pre-made object that much, but you can size a little bit and it's okay. The PE Design does a nice job of changing the size of a few things. So I'm going to scoot the word these over just a little bit so it's not on top of the word anybody. There. I like that. Okay, now we have a new one. On Tuesday, when it hails and snows, the feeling on me grows and grows that hardly anybody knows if those are these or these are those. So, and I think that looks pretty darn good. Let's go ahead and let's sew that out. Let's see what we end up with.
Okay, before I start to sew this out, I've already shown you how I hooped it and how to lay the batting down in the last video. But I remembered something that I forgot to show you in this one, and that is how to fill the background stitch that we had on it, the quilting that we did first. And I also forgot to put the basting stitch around it. So let's do something here with this. Let's first go in and find the design. I have it in, I sent it wirelessly, so it's right here, and set it down. And then the next thing that we have to do is we have to add the background stitching. So if I hit edit and then I hit this part right here, it's going to automatically add some stippling around it. Now let's change the hoop size to the 6.5 by 10. And for some reason it won't add it. And I think it's just we've got so many letters in there. It just won't let me put that in there. So I am going to just tell it I have a little bit bigger hoop. I have a 7 by 12 hoop. And then I'll hoop it in a even bigger hoop, probably my large 9.5 by 14 hoop. But at least I get that background in there. The other thing I need to do is I need to add the the basting stitch around it. So I'm going to hit preview. Oh, you know what I forgot to do? I forgot up here. You have an echo quilting capability if you want to do that. Let's see if it does it. Echo. It probably won't do echo. That's crazy for me to even push that with all those letters. Let me see if I can cancel it. Okay, well, I was afraid I was going to turn off the machine, but it did eventually try and do an echo, and then it went blank. So anyway, so let's do it again. Let's push this. Change this to the 7 by 12 hoop. Then hit this up here, which is our decorative stitches. And if I hit select, it's this one right here that looks like a jungle that we did before, I'm pretty sure. So we're going to say okay. And it's going to do the jungle stitch around it. And then we're going to hit preview. And it's going to show it to us. There it is. That looks pretty good. I like it. So you could do it in your software, but if you have a Stellaire or an Altair, a Meridian, a Luminaire, any of those, they'll do that for you. So that's a nice way to go back and fix it if you need to do that. So we're going to say okay. And then when we hit embroidery, if you go to the layout button and you hit this, it will add a basting stitch down around. Now, yes, this is going to baste around it a little bit bigger than what our original one was, but when I get ready to cut it down, I can cut it down to the right size and make it fit for what I'm trying to do. So I'm not going to worry about that now when I'm going to worry about it when I get ready to put it together. So now let's go ahead and let's just sew this out. Lay the no-show mesh, the batting, and then the fabric, and then we're going to lay the fabric on top. We're going to baste it in place, and we're going to do all the stitching just like we did last time. Okay? So I was able to sew that out, and this is what it came out completely finished. The only thing that I would say I didn't like about it is if you look at it, the word feeling did not come out all that well. I wasn't very happy with that. It's one of those things you got to practice a little bit and feel out what letters work better on top of batting, and that's probably what the problem is. It just was too skinny and it just didn't work. But I'm okay. I'm gonna leave it the way it is. This one is bigger than this one. And there's two things about that. One of them, I like the letters, the words better in this one. They're bigger and they don't feel as small as this one does, and they're easier to read. So, but I like everything else about it, and I'm not going to fuss about it because when I get ready to put this together and make it into a wall hanging, I'm going to put some sashing in between them and maybe make one go this way and one go that way and kind of make it look like I did it on purpose to make one bigger and one smaller. Hang on just a minute. I dropped. Okay. But I thought it was really fun. And you'll notice in the video when I was on the in the PE design software, I tried to do something with the wingdings, and for some reason my brain just wouldn't remember how to do it. Afterwards, I remembered how I did it. So maybe if you're interested, I will show you in the next video how you can take a wingding and make it into an embroidery. But I thought the little snowflake that I pulled from the shapes worked out really well. Other than that, let me know what you're thinking about if you're having some fun watching me do some different things with letters. If you've got a question about something you can do with letters, please put it in the comments and I will try to address it in the next one. We have 2 more stanzas to go in this little poem before we make it into a little wall hanging. So otherwise, I hope you're enjoying this this new video series. But if you have some new ideas for something that I can do with embroidery machines, I am always open to some kind of a new idea or a new question that I can answer. So I hope you had a good time, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.